Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of Oxygen, not included our second season here on the Crunchy Citadel. So we're here. We got a lot of plans today, a lot of moving parts that are finally coming together to make things run much smoother, much better between the two colonies. We're going to be actually supporting Combustista hopefully today with a little bit of resource here. And actually, just before they do that, I'm realizing I should be planting more mealwood there, and ripping this open just so that we can harvest the mealwood and whatever that's in here too. Okay, cool. Now, all right. So what I'm suggesting is the usage of fossils for making lime, which is kind of the main point here. So you can change, well, I guess I've actually never collected, oh, there's fossils. So fossil into lime, so we can actually set that up as forever, but we need to deal with the power source here. Now, just looking at this, you can tell we've got a little bit of coal here, actually quite a substantial amount of coal, which is surprising because I haven't really sent anything over, but we should be able to support a little bit of both colonies. You can see this one's got 98 tons of coal, whereas the other one only has, 14, but that'll make it last for a while. We'll fill up these batteries, we'll have some good old-fashioned fun filling up an oil well, and all that good stuff. Now, the problem is going down here is too hot for the dupes, so we're going to need to be setting up very soon. Well, let me just set up 2 of those. This is kind of fine, but we'll have to do that as well. What we're going to need to set up is an Atmo suit line here, and it's a little annoying that we have to do it, but I just need to figure out where the best spot to make that happen is. I'm thinking perhaps I have to shift these around a little bit or whatever, but just looking, how much Atmosuit checkpoint, Atmosuit dock. Yeah, so, okay, they do require that. Okay, well, there are only 3 of them, so I can give them 3, and then I could just force them to... maybe I need to move that over. And then move the ladder over. Anyway, I'll figure it out. Once I've made some decisions, we'll move things around, we'll figure it out. But we're going to put in an actually, no, never mind. Don't listen to me. We're going to put in the ammo suit right now, because this is important. We need them to not die, and recently they have not been having the best time with that. So I'm thinking ladder all the way down here. Ammo suits can go here. We'll actually delete these ladders here, and this can go over. So let's do it. Perfect. So there's my plan. Boom, dig down. We'll deal with the water pushing it to either side, and dig a little bit further down, and then over here just dig straight down, and we'll deal with that. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that alone for a minute. We'll put the Atmosuit line in here, and I'll actually get them to deconstruct these more urgently. And let's talk about Combustista. So we need to be creating more food here. That's kind of important, but also we need to be thinking about our cooling system. So I know I talked about opening all of this up for an aquatuner system in here. However, what I'm realizing is I shouldn't be using an aquatuner over here. I should be putting an aquatuner over here, because this is where our power spine is, and that way we have access to the power spine. So that's the plan I'm going to be doing now going forward. Also, I'm seeing we've gone a little drop there. I'm actually just going to take it here and collect the dirt. We'll do it there. And back to Combustista. Okay, so, oh, wait, sorry. I know, bouncing back and forth. So, this now is taking power. My plan down here is we're going to kind of open things up eventually and put down, well, hopefully, I don't know if I can dig these up or if it breaks the oil well, what happens with that, but I'm thinking maybe a mesh tile here absolutely... Well, I guess that one could be dug out. That one could be dug out, and it'll just go down. Okay, no mesh tile. Never mind. Don't listen to me. But mesh tiles paired with just digging further down and opening things up might make things a little bit easier down here. So back to Combustista, though, talking about our cooling plans. I would like to kind of plan this to have the same height as that for now, and probably use this area down here for our aquatuners. So what's going to have to happen, and this is unfortunate, is we're going to go all the way down here. As well, again, we talked a little bit about this, is our carbon dioxide being caught in multiple areas, and how I would like to eliminate it all, push it all to one spot, and that spot is likely down here. These thankfully are alive again, which is great, but the temperature may not maintain for very long, so we'll see what happens. They are very harsh at work, though, running around and well, using up some of the oxygen that I've managed to sneak in here. But let's get them more focused, more targeted to this side of the map. Alright, so we got the general plan kind of put in place. We're digging it out. They're doing a really good job, actually. They're doing a phenomenal job kind of getting down. Those are the main components that we're worrying about. I'd actually like them to build this out, because they seem to be struggling quite a bit with that. They're also digging out the sides, which I do approve of. You know, I don't mind this at all. I do worry that if we do dig these sides out, though, that they're going to neglect this bottom portion. And this bottom portion is what's going to be really important if I want to prevent massive flooding into the base. We don't want flooding. I mean, actually, no, we don't want flooding. That's too much. That would be too messy. I don't want to deal with that. What's your limit? 40. Okay, good. So either way, they're just absolutely going to town on this stuff, and it is making me thrilled, really. And what'll happen is we got down to this level. This seems to be where this stuff lines up. And if I look at my imagery here, by imagery I mean the picture of the system I set up at my previous colony, this thing isn't all that big. I could actually, comically enough, I suppose I could put ice in it. But I'm not going to do that. I'm thinking maybe I do actually put it right here is where the beginnings of this system ends up being. The thing is, it does need that sweet, sweet steel, which we don't have yet. So what I think we'll do, we'll let them go out and about, do their business, you know, they are little busy bees here, and I'll just kind of set everything up to be dug out, and, you know, they'll go down, and everything will be fine. Everything will be nice, clean, crisp, hopefully easy. That's what we want most importantly, is easy. So we'll have them do that. Let me just check this as well. You are running... Okay, still just the 30%. That's good. And let's go to Combustista, because I'm sure, yep, they did the movement that I needed them to do. Perfect. So let's get them started on, and I'll slow it down a little bit so that we can make sure we're doing it properly. Let's get these folks started on the Atmo suits. So we'll start with the Atmo suit checkpoint. I don't think it needs to be steel. I think copper is likely totally fine. And we'll put 1, 2, and then what I need to do is deconstruct this one and this one, and that should be fine. Maybe you know what, let's deconstruct that one as well, just to make sure, oh, this one, sorry. Let's deconstruct those, just to make sure they behave, you know? I don't want them doing dumb stuff. They have the tendency to do stuff that I don't necessarily approve of all the time. So let's just get them to finish some of these things up, and then a nice little, well, we'll get them to sweep that up, I suppose, afterwards. So they're going to be doing this, which is fine. They're doing a very good job, like they always do. Well, They very rarely do a good job, actually. They're very often ruckus makers. So we'll have them do that. We'll have them do this. I'm going to set them up with the wiring that they need to have. So it's going to be wiring to this, wiring to the docks. And, of course, we need to do... what else should we do? Actually, we should put in some automation. Just to make sure we're not wasting resources. Oh, those aren't smart batteries. Okay. Yeah, let's have them sweep this mess up. That should be a 9. Sweep that up so that we don't need to worry about anything else. And then they'll be good to come down over here much quicker, much easier. They shouldn't be able to access this now, which makes me happy. That actually does mean that they can't access those either, which is less than ideal. But they're going to need to set up ventilation from there, which we will actually do. Let's have them do it right through here. This should be fine in there and in there. So we're going to be taking a little bit of extra oxygen. Hopefully they don't die, but it should split, I would think. And then right here, let's deconstruct that. Let's put that at 9 so they actually do this preferably immediately. And then ladder in right here. And again, that'll be more of an immediate thing. So they're not doing too much else otherwise. I do think we need to put in one of these. Who is scalding and why? Really? Damn. So the reason why that was scalding is because it was actually in kind of a vacuum of sorts. So, oh, shoot. Gene, why'd you do that? Gene. This is not good. Okay, so this should be fine now. Now that that one's done, the heat should dissipate. So I think we'll just kind of have them stop running around there. So the heat should be able to now move around. So that was the issue. It was kind of in a vacuum and the heat wasn't really exchanging with anything. So that should do the trick. I do see that Pei is pretty badly wounded. I'm hoping that she can be, you know, healed up without much service, I suppose. Let me put her in a... Let me put her in a triage cot for a second. Let's put one of those in the main food room, and we'll see what happens there. Otherwise, I'm going to leave them to presently their own devices. And then if this ends up being an issue, what we might have to do is actually push and delete this. I don't know if any of them can. Oh, they can. Okay, that's good. So, and then lock that door. So then they can access here, but they cannot go down here. And that's kind of, again, the most important thing. They're not allowed to go down here. Let's see how they're doing on Combustista. They have made some progress. Thankfully, nothing has leaked down. That is excellent. The temperature exchange will begin to happen, unfortunately. But the ice biome has to be eliminated. That is just the way it is. I don't make the rules. It's just gotta happen like that. So let's begin. I'm gonna let things kind of run around a little bit. Ooh. Huh. This is gonna be an issue soon. Let's actually, wait, I got an idea. I feel like a liquid reservoir is now needed for this stuff. Or, the clean, this is the thing. Some of this is clean, some of this is not. So the clean stuff could easily be used elsewhere around the base. If I was to clean it up properly, it would be fine. So anyway, okay, we're going to let that do its thing. I'm going to kind of build out an aquatuner setup here, kind of sort of just the basic shell of it, and then we'll be back once we're done. So I quickly came to realize that I shouldn't even bother really building the shell of the thing that we're trying to build here, the shell of the thermal aquatuner setup, because there's no point without the without having the steel, because I'm gonna have to replace everything. So we're just gonna chill for a minute. We're going to not do any more sending of steel out there, and the same with copper. We're gonna keep the copper in-house for now as well. And we need this fossil. So what we need first and foremost is ammo suits now. And I'm wondering, I think it's probably best and easiest to produce them here. And so what I think has to happen is they're under stations, and I believe it's exosuit forge, and I'm pretty sure it takes up, oh, it only takes up 450, but what we're going to do to try and make things easy, and we're going to make this a very urgent task, I want somebody to do this right now, is we're going to be hooking it up using some heavy watt wire and using copper. Oh wow, there is a 49,000 iron. Holy shit. At no point at all did I ever anticipate having that much. Why do I have that much? What did I do? Oh, it must be from digging this area out. That is so wild to me. Fantastic though. I really do love that. That makes life very easy here. And carbon dioxide is, oh yeah, this was kind of an accident. I didn't really actually intend to do this. So I've opened up a little way for carbon dioxide to leave this area and go down here. I mean, it was part of the plan, but I just, in doing this, opening this shaft up, that wasn't what I was up to. I was actually just trying to make it easier for them to run between the two areas. So glad to see that mistakes were made in a good way, though. That's always nice. So we've got that set up now, and well, hopefully carbon dioxide continues to flow outwards and oxygen continues to flow up. This is a good day. This is a good day. Accidents happen, but this time, for once, it was a good one. So, all right, we're having to build the exosuit forge, and then we're going to ship the suits we make over to Combustista. So let's do that, and then hopefully we can get some fossil. And so finally we've made and have, well, not quite delivered Atmos suits to the Atmos suit line, but we have delivered Atmos suits here. And I also put a little bit of storage in here. You know, the bins were there, but they hadn't actually stored anything yet, and then they just started going to town storing stuff. So we were having some idleness issues, so they were just freaking out a little bit. So I decided, okay, why not just allow them to store things. So let's also just clean up the bedroom, since they're so hell-bent on storing things. Let's just have them clean up these rooms that they spend a fair amount of time in, and then we'll deal with these other rooms. So I would like them to deliver suits now. So this should be good. And look at that. Ah, amazing. We're finally getting some suits in. So that's great. Now, the only other thing we need to do is hook this up to a power supply and hook it up to a vent. And you can see that Pay, by the looks of it, is already going down here. Now, Pay, I love that you're here. Thank you so much for doing that. This isn't actually what I want you to be doing right now, but sure. Oh, hello, it screams. So that looks like it's releasing natural gas. Natural gas, do you hover above oxygen? Okay, no, it's fine. It might, like, creep up a little bit, but it should stay generally below, so that's fine. I don't really want this being done a whole lot. What I do really want done, though, is I want to open this up. And I would love to get some fossils as well. So I think you're gonna see that we're gonna be opening up a little bit of space here, collecting some fossils, opening things, and really trying to give a little bit more room here, because while it's all great and all well that we've got, you know, oxygen going into here, you know, thankfully the base doesn't really need any. You know, there is still a lot of work to do. Oh, shoot. Okay, whoa. Can't be having that. That might get destroyed. How are you running? And how much power are these generating together? Wattage 100, wattage 42. Yeah, okay, because of those. That's fine. Those I'll leave there just to try and protect it for now. That'll be okay. And temperature, you've chilled out? Perfect. Alright, well that makes life a little bit easier. We might see some damage there, but we'll keep a close eye on it and make sure we're good. Really, what we're after is steel in this whole process. Is a heck of a lot of steel. And to be honest, what I'm impressed by is the fact that now we have a little bit of, well, natural gas on hand. So that makes things very interesting. So natural gas is something we've been lacking. I haven't even seen any yet. Is it going to be cold down here, or is that... Oh, that's enclosed. Okay. Interesting. So, as I was saying, natural gas is something we haven't really been exposed to yet. And it's nice that we've got a little bit, because I could then do a natural gas generator. So, converts the natural gas into electrical power. The only thing is, it does require a little bit of effort to set up. But I suppose I could set it up here and have the things drip down and collect it in some way. We can make it work. It's just a matter of just paying very close attention to everything. So, listen, I love you folks. I love that you've done this, but we're going to need to really begin the process here of securing our future. So this involves me just cleaning some stuff up, plain and simple. So is this pay finally going and getting us some fossils? Amazing! This is what we need. So fossils are really what we're after here. This is going to secure our future. This is what we've been waiting for a while. We've needed fossils. They're going to be helping us out quite a bit in Combustista. They're going to be providing us with the resource that we need in order to really move ahead. So steel is reliant on, well, basically reliant on fossils at the end of the day. Because we do need lime, and lime has been a very rare resource to see here. As well, just looking at this, you know, petroleum is going to be very easy to produce. We are blowing through some water here, so we're going to need to pay more attention on Combustista with how much water is being used. We'll be able to open this up, and it will solve some issues, but pulling hot water in is a concern of mine. I don't want to be dealing with hot water very much. I would like to create a large vat, maybe a large body of water like this, over here, and solving some things. That way, the polluted water has been interesting thus far. You know, I've managed to remove a lot of germs, but I think what we're going to need to do is actually set up a second vat and move water over there, and therefore keep polluted the germs in a new spot. So are we seeing, you know, this is full, right? So that's the issue here. Let's do this next step over here. So this is what we need to do, actually, is probably set up a second room to house that new polluted water that is, you know, still undergoing, it's going to undergo treatment, I suppose. You know what? It is kind of a waste of electricity. However, it would be the second pump that we've got on our line here, and one that would be well worth the money. So let's hook ourselves up here with the new pump, new plumbing, and kind of hope for the best here. I don't love this exactly. I think what needs to happen is the bad water needs to be placed into one of these for a bit, and then we can dump it down here again. So let's do this here, and eventually maybe we could even automate this whole setup. If life was going really smoothly, we could do that. Let's get them to build all of this out now on a 9. This is the most important task you have now. This is the most important task you have. We could set up a little bit of automation too, so that if there's no more water down here, you stop. But we'll see what happens. We'll just get them started on that. And so this is my plan, really and truly. We're going to start filling this up with the really bad water, and then, holy shit, this is what happens when your dupes are actually useful. Okay, cool. Exosuit Forge. I feel like maybe we need some more of these. I'm not hell-bent on doing it right now, but one day we're going to need a few more. As well, cleaning that up will be something else I have to do at some point in time, but obviously not yet. Let's just speckle them in for now, just so that I can make sure I can keep doing the good work that we always do. Polluted carbon dioxide is turning into liquid. Oh! Yeah, that's not great. Alright, well, we're going to need to... yeah, this was one of those things. This is one of those oversight things. It'll be fine. And then, unfortunately, we're going to have to use some heavy wet wire, and seriously, it's just going to need to be run across like that, I think. This is not ideal by any means, but it's what needs to happen. Actually, this line maybe should just be an 8, because I'd really rather them build this first, and then we'll deal with the polluted oxygen. Because this is getting to be a little bit more of a problem, and then eventually we're not going to be able to manage this proper, so we'll just do that. And really, what is the plan here? Am I just going to siphon it off over to the right side? Or do we set these all up and then figure it out? Once Nicholas built this, though, I'm going to close it up. Oh, yes, as well. Okay, somebody build those things. So I'll let them do their thing. Over here, though, they're doing a great job digging everything out. I love them for it. You know, they're usually very belligerent and unhelpful. But today, you're doing good work, folks. You're doing good work. We need to keep the slicksters alive as well. That is another big item on my agenda. As natural gas continues to slowly siphon into the base. And I think, too, it may be time for us to set up a little bit more ventilation inside of the main base here. Maybe say here. Let's do right at the top. We'll put a gas vent in right here. And I think that's actually a more important task to do. Just an 8, because 9 is food. 8 will have them do things like that. And down here, really, those mesh tiles are going to be what's important. I'd like to... Darn, I really don't want the slicksters to die here. We might have to have the slicksters at a higher level, somewhere like here. We'll see what happens. It's mesh tile. We'll see what they do, if they like it or not. If they stay on it, because carbon dioxide would sink down, technically, if I was doing this properly. Right now, it's a little wonky. Now, no cooling as well going on here, so we are still reliant on our original home for that, but we'll be okay. I am happy, though, that they've kind of moved this along. This is good. And, you know, eliminating polluted oxygen from this whole area is going to take time, but that's okay. We'll get to it. Okay, so we've got a little bit of we got the germ sensor set up. So, current ambient germs. All right. And just clicking on automation here. If germs are above 0, send a green signal if germs are below 0. We need to set up a pretty significant amount of automation, but the idea would be, if there are germs, this is off. If there are not germs, it will pump. All right, so I think I was overcomplicating this. I think it can be pretty simple, actually. So we're just trying something here. Actually, it doesn't have power, so let's hook it up to power just to make sure everything's fine. I mean, it's not doing anything, right? So it's currently enabled by the automation grid. The germ sensor says if it's below, should be below 1, send a green signal if it's below 1. So if there are germs over here, this thing shouldn't work. And I'm thinking if they use the bathroom and stuff, here we go. We're going to see water come into this system now and go out. There you go. I don't know if those actually have germs in them, to be honest, because it's just shower water. Oh, it does. Okay. So that should spread down here. And I'm hoping... Are you not going to spread? The problem with these ones was that you can see here. So there are germs up here. And sends a green signal if below 1. So once this one ended up below 1, I believe, it messed with the whole thing and was fine. Any germs going down here? No germs here yet. Almost, though. Come on. Just scoot down a little bit further. We just need a few more germs to move over. That may actually be as far as the germs can go presently. I think this should work, but I'm afraid that if one is sending a green signal, then it will accept them both. Do I not have the and unlocked? Is that what my issue is? Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, I thought there was an and symbol. Yeah, there you go. All right. There you go. That's what I need. I was so confused. I was like, where is this thing? So we need an and symbol. Oh my god. This has been my problem this whole time. I've been losing my shit. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. But there we go. Okay, great. So we are still getting a little bit of steel here, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to produce more. But really, it's up to these folks here in order to get me that beautiful lime. I'm thinking, too, maybe what needs to happen is we need to send some... Well, send fossil over too. You know, there is fossil here. There's no lime though. Right? There's our fossil. Give me some lime. There's the lime. So not a whole lot. If we can send both over, that works. I just think it needs to be powered. Can we get a little bit of food maybe? No, but coal will do. And electricity, you know, we can actually start, if we want, to attach the whole line together, because I don't think the line is consuming all that much power. So let's just do this whole thing and see what ends up happening. If it does consume too much power, I will just simply cry. So this is why you would have those diggers as well, those auto ones. Robo miner, there you go. So you'd put in a robo miner, and it would take care of cleaning all of these out. So that is also something I should maybe consider doing as we continue on here with the solar panels. Now, I'm lucky that didn't break, but we'll see what happens in the future. We are having natural gas seep up, though, which isn't great. So we might need to do something about that soon. Or we may need to rip open more of this area in order to try and keep things, well, at bay, I suppose, would be what I would say. So that is also a consideration too. So let's just have them rip that open, carve that out. Oh, okay, there we go. We already got advanced automation. Amazing. Let me now do this properly. Oh my gosh, they're going to town down here still. You're not supposed to be working down here. Stop that. You're supposed to be working over here. Oh, never mind. You've already done your tasks. I apologize, folks. Let's do 3. We'll get them to do all of that. We'll get them to dig that out actually as well. Wonder if they can even do that. I don't think they can. Get them to dig the whole shebang out. Right like that. And put it all on a 7. Everything on a 7. If they can't do it, they can't do it. Now, let's talk about this automation. So that was my issue, was that I didn't have the and, but now that I've got the and gate, this is great. So outputs a green signal if at least one is receiving no. So outputs a green signal when both are receiving green. So that's what we need. We need both to be green. And that is a germ sensor. That is a germ sensor. Are you going to rip the wall open? If I get you to build this, will you destroy that. You do not. Excellent. That makes things so much easier. Okay. So here's the deal. You, boom, and we will take the automation from that one. Amazing. And then you output green. Okay, and snip and snip. There you go, folks. I mean, this is the automation that's really needed for this portion of life. This was a little bit of an issue to figure out, but I think now that we've got it done, now that we've got it kind of sorted there, it'll be all right. And what we've learned too with this, food is decayed. Where did it decay? Oh, okay. Ugh, they're not doing too well. They are not doing too well at all. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clearly I'm having some issues here because they are not doing a very good job keeping themselves alive. Back to Combustista. So I need them to do all of these, please. And then that'll solve my germ problem in 2. So what you would do is you can put another AND gate and pretty well just put this one in and almost layer them on top of each other. So if I really wanted this to need a green signal from more of these, it would be, I'd put this in. So really, if I'm talking about germs, the germiest spot, seemingly, if all is well and done. So there you go. So there's the automation in, right? Everything's fine. The germs, where do the germs end up staying the longest? So they're dying pretty good, pretty evenly, right? So germs 500, germs 700, so the left side is apparently where they are present the most. So if I wanted to hook this one up, which to be honest, I kind of do, just to make things even safer. Perfect. Okay, I figured it all out now. I figured out what I want to have done. So I'm deconstructing a good portion of this stuff. It'll all get nice and done. And I think this is also being deconstructed. We'll just get rid of the whole lot of it. And what's going to happen? So let me explain the automation system. So this needs to communicate into this, green and happy. This needs to communicate that it is also happy. And this one is a hydro sensor. So the purpose of the hydro sensor is that it will deconstruct that and deconstruct that and deconstruct that. No, deconstruct. There we go. So the purpose of the hydro sensor is that it will be saying, hey, there's enough water here, please take some water out of the vat. Meanwhile, these other ones say, are there germs here or are there germs here? The reason why I'm doing this is to keep everything nice and tight knit so that I don't need to worry about, well, say, water level getting too low and these sensors no longer being in the water and causing problems in that regard. So that is my plan. I just need them to hook that up. Okay, perfect. And taking a look now, you've got a red signal coming through here. So send a green signal if the water is above 500. So the water is, I suppose, it is above 500, but really we want it to be above 1,000 because 1,000 is 1 full brick. So send if it is above 1,000. I believe that counts, right? So there you go. The automation is set to go. Now, the current present issue is that, well, it's not hooked up to anything. So let's hook it up to, what shall we hook it up to pipe-wise? I could hook it up into another vat. You know what? Here's what we'll do. Let's cancel all of the work that I was having. So I kind of schemed some stuff here, but what we'll do is we'll just cancel all of that and dig a little bit more in here. And I'm going to pump it over to the right here. And the reasoning for this is I just want to make sure this works. I don't want any surprises when we pump water into the main system. I don't want to be slapped by my own hubris, is what we'll say. Now, they've done a really good job clearing this out as well, so I'm pleased about that. Let me just get them to dig up here. But one of the big issues I do see as a result of what we've done here, ripping everything open, is that we've completely eliminated an area that was so cold, and now it's just gone, and it's going to be dissipating very quickly. That's what happens when you remove the cold biome, is it dissipates very fast. But hopefully next episode, because clearly I'm not doing it today, but hopefully next episode we'll be able to put in a little bit more time and effort into the aquatuners. This was pretty well just the prelude to that, right? So we needed to set the space up, we needed to get the room, and now that we've got that portion done and out of the way, we're able to probably focus on that next time, provided we can get more steel. So I am seeing that we're having some issues with steel still, and I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that it's because we're just simply not producing enough lime. And those fossils should be getting sent over, but they're not. So as far as errands go, nobody's really up to doing that, because, I mean, we've caught a lot of fossils, so we should be doing it. I think they're just busy doing a lot of easier tasks, so they're not really sending anything over. Now, what I could do is just actually cancel everything. Let's see what they do now if I cancel these tasks. So Pay's got some. Let's see, where is she going with it, delivering it into there? Because that's 8. Is this also an 8? This is now a 9. So it should be more important that they throw it over there, but maybe it's my bad. Yeah, I mean, they're automatically just putting it in here. I don't know. Maybe that's fine. But that means that we should be having lime here, and the lime should be sent over. So let's remove that from the step. And they should be sending lime? Yeah, okay. So hopefully that works. I'm really hopeful that this setup works as well. And that's all there is to it, really. Now, why are you not disabled by automation grid? So what is the issue? So you've done it. Okay. And that's because it is above, well, it's above that. So send a green signal if above. Let's do 950. Let's try that. So this way we can pump some water out. We'll see what exactly happens. It might be a little bit of time before we actually see the repercussions of this, but in the future we'll be able to pump it into a vat. We'll be able to dump it somewhere else. I'm not quite sure exactly what the whole plan will be, but I do know that we're about to see them pee. So we're getting germy liquid in here. Now, this is still pretty high. This is the one that's going down. It'll take a little bit to figure out. And germ-wise, there are germs mostly on this side. That is the interesting thing about it. Most of the germs end up on the right side, especially if we were to cut this off here, cut it out a little bit. It would result in more germs getting lower and this side turning off instead. So I just hope that the germs have to go through here and don't sneak their way through the top. Okay, so I've changed it to 990 just so we kind of keep things clear there. And germs, well, there are none in here, and there are none in here. Is there? Oh, there is something for me to retrieve. Let's just take a hatchling for a second, just while we continue to figure this setup out. As well, if I really wanted, I suppose I could take this out and have it just flow down a little bit instead. Could be good. But I think we're good. You know, we've mostly cleared everything out. We've done pretty well what I would say I would have wanted to do from this, what I would have wanted to achieve. And I think that's what really matters here. And I think that's what's important for us, is that we've achieved the big boy items, the big tasks. I will set up insulated tiles now for the remainder of these items, but we're still waiting for them to deliver more lime to us. It's not going as quickly as I was anticipating. So we'll just patiently wait for those things to happen. And until then, I'll be keeping an eye on this, and I'll give a little bit more thought to our aquatuner setup. But if you folks did enjoy this episode, do let me know down below. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and as always, thank you for stopping by. Happy you did, and I'll see you next time.